Hello and welcome to Education at SSPJ online video tutorials. We have completed this chapter synthetic fiber and plastic of class 8 CBSE, and in this video we shall discuss textbook questions and some more questions which are very important as far as exam is concerned. Here we go quickly to discuss one by one important questions of this chapter. The first question is differentiate between natural and artificial fibers. Now natural fiber are very natural, right? They are already available. They are obtained from plants and animals, whereas synthetic fibers are man-made, and this you have already studied. We'll go little fast here because we have also revised this chapter, and here we are just discussing the questions and answers. The second one is, right, natural fibers are bit costly as compared to synthetic fibers. These are cheap. The second one is these are expensive, and here synthetic fibers are cheaper. Remember all these points. And the next one is use is bit cumbersome here. Natural fibers, they don't dry quickly, they are not that durable, they don't come for a long time, they spoil early. That's what I would like to say. So they are not durable, they don't dry up quickly. Examples are cotton, silk and all. And as compared to these natural fibers, these synthetic fibers are more quick in drying up. Examples rayon, nylon, etc. Now next one is define polymer. Right. What is polymer and how is it made of? And then we have to give example, that one example of a polymer which is occurring in nature. Right. As I have already told you, a small units of chemical, we can call it as a monomer. This is monomer, mono, single. And many such monomers will give you a polymer. So polymer is a large unit, right? And all synthetic fibers and natural fibers are polymers. That means they are the large chemical units. They are like this, which are made up of monomers. So quickly the answer can be synthetic fibers and plastics are made up of very large units called polymers, and polymers are made up of many smaller units called monomers. So cotton is the best example for the polymer occurring in the nature. Next question. Now in this question we have to find out what is meaning of biodegradable. So question is identify out of these four which are biodegradable and which are non-biodegradable. So what does this non-biodegradable mean or biodegradable mean? Okay, so certain substances in nature, they decompose, they decay. And how do they decay? They are helped by the microorganisms which are there in the soil as well as there in the air, right? So biodegradable means they are capable of being decomposed by bacteria or other living organisms, okay? And therefore pollution is avoided. Plastics are non-biodegradable, they don't digest in the soil, so they cause pollution. Now here, as far as paper is concerned, since paper is natural material made up of wood, so it is a biodegradable. Aluminium is a metal, it's a non-biodegradable, right? And plastic bags, as I just told you, is non-biodegradable. Cotton cloths, again natural, biodegradable. And here are the answers, okay? When you watch this video, you are required to pause it, make notes or write notes. So by the time you end this video, you should have a completely written notes so that you can refer it every now and then. Next one, why we should not throw polybags in the water bodies, right? Why we should not throw poly bags in the water bodies? Look at this picture. What does it tells you? Okay, turtle, right, is stuck with the polythene bag. Poly bag means a bag, plastic bag, which is made up of polythene. And these pictures will reveal you that how dangerous these are. Right. Now, they are swallowed by these animals and get choked. They die. And some of the contents of this will enter even into the body of the fish. And the human who consumes this fish will get that plastic in his digestive system or in his body. And you know, plastics are cancer causing. They cause many diseases. They disturb our health. And therefore, the best answer can be, you can even modify these answers, put them in point, right? Go through properly, go for pause button and read properly, right? Explain, plastic containers are favored for storing food. This question which is there in the textbook is a bit vague, okay? All plastic containers are not favored. Favored means used, okay? To keep, you know, food. Sometimes you use plastic containers. But not every time. Certain food we cannot keep. But recent researchers have showed that plastic should not be used. However, we are using in some places. You must have seen that when you go to buy a bread and bread is given this way, and it is not good for health. Many times people go to the hotel and bring food in this way. So what is the problem? These plastics are the last grade plastics. They definitely combine with the food, particularly which are those colored one, right? And they mix up with the food, and that is very dangerous. But however, since the question is, explain why plastic containers are favored for storing food, let me tell you, here you should understand that few plastic, okay, it is better not to use as far as food containing. Okay, the answer can be, okay, favorable answers can be why plastics are favored. Actually, we should not use plastic, but why it is favored? Because they don't react, generally. But remember, they react. Most of the plastics, they react and make the food poison. If you keep food for a long time, they react. Plastics are lightweight and are strong. They are easy to handle and safe, right? The next question will go quickly. Explain difference between thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic, right? Now, thermoplastics can be softened by heating. You can heat them, bend them, put them into different forms, right? Different articles can be made using these thermoplastics. So the plastics which can be heated and bent and can be even rolled into a sheet. This is how our compass materials are made, isn't it? So these are all thermoplastics, right? Whereas thermosetting plastics, look at the one where telephone instrument, old telephone, land phone instrument, even the switches, okay, they can't be remolded. Once you heat, it melts and it almost looks like a tar. So they cannot be again heated and remolded. Remolding means put them into different shape. So that is a major difference between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. And you can even give some examples like thermoplastics are polythene, PVC. You know, PVC pipes are made, and examples of this bakelite is for switches, melamine for a fire uniform. It is a fire resistant. Okay, when we work with fire, you can use the melamine cloth, right? This is electrical switches. The next one, explain why the following are made of thermosetting plastics. Right. Explain why following are made of thermosetting. And what are thermosettings? Thermosettings are those plastics which cannot be molded on heating. Okay. So once spoiled, it is gone. You cannot remold it and do certain other things. Generally, the saucepans and electric plugs are made up of thermosetting plastics. So this is a saucepan, let us consider it, and the handle of that is made out of thermosetting plastics. And even this also is thermosetting plastics. The first thing is they are very bad conductor of heat. And what do you mean by bad conductor? They don't allow the heat to pass through easily into them. So therefore you can hold this easily. So it will not be so hot. Even if this portion is hot, this will not be so hot. Even if there is some electrical spark inside, that heat doesn't travel through this. Therefore it is comfortable. And therefore, so what is the main answer? The keyword is they are bad conductors of heat. So this is the keyword. Right. Next one, right? Thermosetting plastics are even a bad conductor of electricity. Right? Electricity also doesn't travel through them, and therefore electrical switches are made out of thermosetting plastics. So these 2 points are very important. Again, they are bad conductors. So only 2 words are very important here. One is a bad conductor of heat. Right, I'll write in short, heat and electricity. So only these words are very important, right? Then you can write a bigger answer using these 2 words. But whenever you write a answer, these are the keywords, isn't it? Therefore, you have to underline those keywords. Okay. What is the help of this? So when you underline the keywords, the evaluator will immediately focus on this keyword because he wants this to be read somewhere in your answer. Okay, and give you full mark. Next. Categorize the materials of the following product into can be recycled and cannot be recycled. Can be recycled and cannot be recycled. Recycling means what? Which can be made use again and again, right? And there are certain, plastic toys, cooker handles, carry bags, ballpoint pens, plastic balls, plastic covering on electrical wires, plastic chairs, and electrical switches. So you have to put them in 2 categories, can be recycling items and cannot be recycled items, right? Plastic toys, you can recycle them, okay? Carry bags, you can recycle them. Plastic bowls, again, okay, not all plastic bowls, some can be recycled. Electric wire covers, they collect and again they take it for recycling. Plastic chairs are very much recycled, okay, and remaining all cannot be recycled. Okay, you have to take a pause and read properly and write it on your notebook. Okay, now next, Rana wants to buy shirts for summer. Should he buy cotton shirt or shirts made from synthetic material? Right? So Rana is thinking, it's a summer, and what kind of shirt I should buy? You all must be having the answer here. It is always good to use cotton shirt for the summer and not the synthetic one. Why? Because cotton shirt is a good absorber of water. So this is a keyword, right? It absorbs water. You are more comfortable in hot environment, right? Again, I am asking you to pause it and read again. Next, give examples to show that plastic are non-corrosive. And what do you mean by non-corrosive? They don't get rust and eaten away by weather conditions. So metals generally are non-corrosive. Corrosive. Metals are corrosive in nature. They don't last long in nature. Okay, they combine with oxygen of nature and with water molecules, they get rust here and they get converted into powder and they fall down. Whereas plastics are non-rustable, they are non-corrosive, right? And therefore, they do not even react if they come in contact with strong chemicals, okay? For example, cleaning chemicals that we use at home are stored in plastic bottles. Cleaning chemicals can be stored because we are not consuming that. So certain chemicals can be stored because it immediately do not react. Avoid plastic as far as possible. Comment on this. Why should we avoid plastic? We have discussed in length in the previous videos, right? So they are non-biodegradable in nature. They cause pollution. When they burnt, they release poisonous gases. They are swallowed by animals, choke the respiratory system and cause fatalities in the animals. Right? So point by point you can even, some more extra you can even write. The next question is, manufacturing synthetic fiber is actually helping conservation of forest. Right. We can have more forest if you manufacture synthetic fiber. So it is again an opposite of what we have discussed in the previous question. Plastics are not environmental friendly. We have already discussed. But it is in some way they are not environmental friendly. But if we depend only on natural fibers, that means we need to cut the trees and natural environment. Paper is made out of wood. Cotton is again. Okay. Most of the items are made up of trees and other plants. And that means we have to destroy them. Right. And so best option is, in some quantity, we have to have a synthetic fiber such a way that they shouldn't, and we should use them in such a way that they shouldn't harm the environment. Right? Take a pause and read it neatly. Put the same paragraph in terms of points. Right? If possible. Now, we'll go for the last question here. Describe an activity to show that thermoplastic is a poor conductor of electricity. Describe an activity to show that thermoplastic is a poor conductor of electricity. Very simple, right? So what I'll be just drawing this. You all must have done in previous classes in school, right? What is this symbol? This is a cell, this is a positive one, this is a negative one. It's any battery cell. Now, you just connect it to a switch. So this is a symbol of the switch. And then you connect to one bulb. And here, one thermoplastic you connect. This is a thermoplastic. Okay, this you can draw it neatly in your notebook, right? So this is a cell and this is a switch, and here is the thermoplastic, and this one is a lamp, a small LED or a lamp, right? So the current flows here, right? Always show from positive to negative. I'll tell you why it is in the next chapters. So describe an activity to show that thermoplastic is a poor conductor of electricity, right? When you switch on, the light gets on or off. it will not get on. It will be switched off only. But you take this out and put any conductor. And what is a conductor? Here, good conductor of electricity, a copper wire. You just put a copper wire in place of this thermoplastic, and you will find the moment switch is on, the bulb will get on. Whereas you just replace copper wire by this thermoplastic, this will not get on. And that is what the demonstration to show that thermoplastic is a poor conductor of electricity. I want you to draw this properly, okay? And we will do this experiment once you come back to the school, right? And properly you write the objective of the experiment, and then what are the things, materials used, and then what is the procedure, and then conclusion. So here we are completing few questions and answers